This video is about ISKCON, specifically if sometimes you have problems with ISKCON or difficulties, sometimes even staying in ISKCON, which can happen from time to time, or for some devotees, it happens a lot. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you understand that? What do you do about it? And what do I do about it? How do I process it? So obviously, I've been in ISKCON, and I've never left ISKCON. So first, I'd like to address the question, why? Why are you still here? Why haven't you left? It's a valid question. There, I think, are reasons that many devotees have who have left. Valid reasons, at least valid for them to have left. So why haven't I left? When I think about it, I think even if there are quote-unquote valid reasons, they can't be valid because Srila Prabhupada wanted us to stay. So how could any of those reasons be valid? I've committed to that desire of Srila Prabhupada's. This is what he wants for me. And therefore, whatever happens within ISKCON, I go with the punches, so to speak, and I try to work to improve it, at least in some way. Maybe I can't improve the whole thing, but I can improve some aspect of it. Because I know this is what Prabhupada wants me to do. Have ever thought of leaving? Not seriously. But I have thought when things were difficult or things were going on that I thought were unfair or wrong. Yes, it would be easy to be outside of ISKCON, but that's not what Prabhupada wants. And also the ramifications of being outside would not, there would be maybe some positives. I could do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted, with who I wanted. But there would be ramifications also, negative ramifications. There's so many benefits to this great organization Prabhupada established. But I want to address this more to devotees who may have difficulty working within ISKCON. And that it may not be you, but you may be dealing with someone who is having difficulty, how to deal with them, how to understand it. One of the things I understand, and I understand this just because of experience, because people have told me this, that they may like certain devotees within ISKCON and certain temples and programs, but there's things within ISKCON they can't stomach, they can't swallow, so to speak, and they feel it's a contradiction to their integrity to be part of an organization that would do this, or has done this, or would support this idea, or is not standing up against this other idea. I understand that. And we, as disciples of Prabhupada, we're very connected on a level where whatever happens in ISKCON, we're going to fight for it. We're going to try to improve it because this is our spiritual master's movement. This is our connection. And I know a lot of devotees who come later are looking at ISKCON to be the ideal spiritual organization for them, and they're maybe not as connected with Prabhupada's desire to make it better or to go with the punches, so to speak, when it's not going well and try to correct it. Then newcomers who will see something and say, how can I appreciate Prabhupada's books, but how can I be part of an organization that promotes this idea? So I want to address that. And the first thing I want to say is that I don't want to minimize that. It's a valid, and I don't even want to call it an excuse. It's valid. Sometimes a devotee may have bad personal experience. They weren't treated fairly, at least in their estimation. Or they see another devotee who wasn't treated fairly in their estimation. And it can be very upsetting. And it can create a crack in their relationship with ISKCON, a crack like a crack in glass that even though if you glue it, the crack is still there. It's never the same again. And so how should a devotee deal with that? You can be connected to Prabhupada, connected to your spiritual master, connected to specific projects in ISKCON. At the same time, you may not feel that you could support everything that goes on in ISKCON. So there are a lot of devotees who are like that. If you say you're part of ISKCON, they'll say, yeah, I guess so. Or they'll say, I'm not part of ISKCON, and I'm not really part of ISKCON. I'm just part of this project. They don't feel like they could necessarily support everything every leader said. Totally understandable. But they're part of ISKCON because they know this is Prabhupada's movement. So there's that class of devotee, and then there's a class of devotee that really, for whatever reason there may be, is finding it difficult to be part of ISKCON. Like I said, it's possible that they were mistreated, and they're just like, how can I be part of a movement that treated me this way? Or I was treated this way and devotees didn't do anything. They're allowing this to happen. At least it seems like they're allowing it to happen. Or there was this huge misunderstanding. It was cleared up, but nobody apologized. And that same misunderstanding is going on somewhere else. And so they may have reasons that just make it really difficult. So now, what is your relationship with different projects in ISKCON, your relationship with your spiritual master or Siksha gurus, if you are kind of outside, you find it difficult? Your relationship should not be affected. Your relationship with your spiritual master should not be affected by your relationship with ISKCON. If ISKCON does something which is difficult for you to swallow, but it's not something that your spiritual master would ever do or supports, then you should never allow that to disturb your relationship with him. Of course, you might say, but he's part of ISKCON. That's true, but it doesn't mean he's supporting something that was harmful for you. And it doesn't mean that your relationship per se is dependent with him, is dependent on your relationship with ISKCON. It doesn't have to be. You can have a very good relationship with your spiritual master. Maybe not the best relationship or even any relationship with ISKCON. So I think that's an important distinction, because sometimes when a devotee has trouble with ISKCON, that also synonymously means in their mind, well, distance from my guru, even though I don't have a problem with my guru. So that would be unfortunate. So being part of an organization, it's not easy, as you know. There are different personalities with different ideas. We are not going to agree with everyone. There's very, very liberal devotees. There's very, very conservative devotees, but most are in the middle, as is most of the world. But ideas which are extremely conservative or extremely liberal may be difficult to swallow. Or actions which have gone on within ISKCON may be unnoticed and that we feel are not proper. It makes it difficult to be part of ISKCON. So find those devotees that you can connect with. Find that project you can connect with. You don't have to worry about the rest of ISKCON. And work in that project, because we need this Sangha to advance. And so don't allow your relationships with devotees in ISKCON to be harmed, disturbed, distanced, cut off because of your other issues with ISKCON. That's, I think, it has to be that way. It really doesn't make sense to be any other way. And ISKCON's a very big movement, and there's pockets of all kinds of different things going on, and all kinds of devotees with all kinds of views and attitudes coming from all kinds of backgrounds. So there's your kind of devotee that is out there, that's for sure. Even though your kind of devotee may not be in the temple you're going to, or there may not be enough of them, or the consciousness or the culture that you would prefer may not exist in your local temple, it does exist somewhere. Hare Krishna.